I want to ask you a question. I want to go here real quick. Have you ever finally wanted something so bad, right? Been waiting for it, wishing for it, hoping for it, saving for it, and then you finally bought that thing that you wanted, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I actually don't even want this, or you don't even use it as much as you thought you would, or you don't even it doesn't make its way in your everyday life like you thought that it would, right? I remember when I was graduating, graduation day for high school, right? I remember getting all the way through high school and graduating, right? And I remember thinking, like, man, this is going to be the best day of my life. And here's why it was going to be the best day of my life. The problem I ran into as I navigated high school is I fell way behind freshman year. So freshman year, because I was out there trying to figure out football and just hanging out with friends and doing all those things, you're supposed to graduate your freshman year with 25 credits, right? At the end of semester 2, you should have 25 credits to move on to the next grade. I graduated freshman year. I don't know if you can even say it was graduating. I left freshman year with 7.25 credits. We're going to let that sit. I know it was not great. 7.25 credits. And here's the thing. From that moment on, everyone doubted that I would ever graduate with my graduating class. Whether it was my guidance counselors, whether it was my parents, whether whoever it was, nobody thought that I was actually going to be able to make up the credits to be able to graduate on time. So think of graduation. I'm thinking this is going to be this phenomenal day. And it's going to be this phenomenal day because I am going to overcome what everyone thought that I could not do. I'm going to look them all in their eyes and do what they thought I could not do. And fast forward, and I wind up barely graduating on time, but I did, barely having enough credits, just over enough credits that I needed to be able to graduate that day. So I remember walking in graduation day, seeing my name on the list. Great. Had my cap and gown, went down, ready to walk. I remember sitting outside as they're practicing. And then I remember getting to graduation day, and on that day, just sitting outside and being like, what in the world am I doing? I had a weird moment. Everybody has different moments at this moment, but for me, I had this weird realization that for the last 3 years of my life, I had been putting so much pressure on myself to attain this one goal, which was to make sure that I graduated on time. And then I realized that once I actually got there, once I got to that point, I felt even more lost and confused than I did when I was trying to attain that goal. I felt empty. I felt it was just this weird, like, man, like this is not what I thought it would be. Like, this is not what I thought it would be. And it's not that I regretted graduating on time, but it was just like, man, the amount of stock that I put in the opinions of other people and thinking that it would be just this glorious feeling to prove others wrong, it actually left me feeling the opposite way, where I just felt empty. And I think the thing that I learned from this, and I always take away from it, was this, is that pursuing your own goals and interests lead to greater personal satisfaction than pursuing the goals and interests of other people, right? So I was on this goal, on this mission to graduate on time, but that was actually, I wasn't just doing it for me. I was doing it for the sake of others and what others would think of me and the adulation and praise that I would get from others when I achieved the feat. And even when I got there, that wasn't enough. And I think that's when I realized, like I said, pursuing your own goals and interests leads to greater personal satisfaction than pursuing those of others, right? That was a huge insight for me in turning the corner and understanding, like, man, if I'm going to start and go out here do this life thing, I'm going to choose the me I want to be. I'm going to choose the things I want to choose as opposed to falling for what others want me to pursue or think that my goal should be.